What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Zamboni. I'm an herbalist and astrologer, and it is time to talk about the astrology of the week ahead. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for rocking with me all this time. Let's talk about the astrology of the week ahead. This one looks like a pretty fun week. I gotta be real. There's soft aspects all over the place. There's everybody's just kind of having fun this week. So let's talk about it. Well, the first thing that we're looking at here is Mercury has comfortably moved into Gemini, and Mercury is just in Gemini doing Mercury things with sweet abandon. Like, Mercury in Gemini is going to make a sextile to Jupiter this week, also going to make a sextile to Mars in Aries. Both of those planets are in Aries. That also tells you how fast Mercury is moving this week. Mercury in Gemini moving quickly. This is like prime time Mercury. If you want to do your analytical thinking, if you want to do your organization, if you want to do your narrative and storytelling, if you want to learn some jokes and charisma, stuff like this, especially since Venus is going to be moving into Gemini as well. So this is going to sort of bring a little bit of that sweetness or something desirable, something fun to that area of Gemini. Like, Mercury and Gemini are already comfortable, but to add Venus to that as well, and to remember as well that Venus in Gemini, or any planets in Gemini, are going to be making soft aspects. They're going to be making a sextile to Aries planets. Those planets are Jupiter and Mars, as well as making soft aspects to Saturn in Aquarius. This is that's where the malefics are, right? Mars is in Aries and Saturn is in Aquarius. And whenever we think about malefics, we think about our discomfort or the difficulty, challenges, things of this nature. But in a soft aspect, right? Not in a square or an opposition, but in a soft aspect like a sextile or a trine. So a sextile is going to be like Gemini is an air sign to Aries, which is a fire sign. The air and the fire, they work together. They are complementary. Or a trine. Gemini is an air sign, and Aquarius is also an air sign. It's friendly. They know how to relate to one another. They're sort of operating from a similar place. So to see those soft aspects gives us a sense of nurturing or friendliness. There's a flow. I like to talk about confluence a lot when I think of soft aspects like this, like tributaries flowing into the same river. This idea of flowing together, confluence, that's a really nice way to think about what's going on here. And so to see these malefics, which are typically associated with difficulty or challenge or something like that, but those flowing together alongside the Mercury and Venus in Gemini. Mercury and Venus in Gemini feeling sociable, feeling like whenever I see Mercury and Venus in Gemini together, I think about the social butterfly. You know, I think about somebody who is able to, especially with butterflies, like sort of being on the air and moving, and like also being sort of easily corruptible by the winds, you know, like as the winds change. Butterflies are so lightweight and their wings so vast that if the winds come, then those butterflies are just, they over here now. And but the good thing about a butterfly is that, all right, cool, we just over here now. It's flowers over here too. And so we're just gonna hang out and have fun and drink up this nectar. That's kind of what's going on in Gemini right now. And Mars and Saturn, who, by the way, are not beefing right now, which, hallelujah, like this is one of the major dramas that we've seen taking place over the last 3 years or whatever, that it's been largely Saturn versus Mars, and the we sort of like get the big moments whenever those Saturn Mars are together. And so, or together like conjunct, or they're square or opposite or something like that. Right now they're in a soft aspect to one another. In fact, Mars in Aries is going to make a sextile to Saturn in Aquarius. This is cooperative. How are Mars and Saturn working together in some kind of way? So Saturn Saturn in Aquarius wants to do organization or efficiency or management, right? I talk about this every week. Saturn loves to be able to comprehend or, give some kind of structure to a thought process such that it becomes intelligible and workable. You can use that to your advantage in some kind of way, because you've got the tools, the structural tools that it takes to understand what's even happening here, right? Mars in Aries doesn't usually have that. Mars in Aries is pretty brash. Mars in Aries, especially with Jupiter right there being like, yeah, dog, do whatever you feel. You know, like this Mars can get all up in your face and start going super hard. And Mars in Aries is very like shoot first, ask questions later, right? Whereas having that Saturn there by sextile, so if it was a Saturn square or something like that, like when we had Saturn in Capricorn, we had Mars in Aries squared to Saturn in Capricorn, and it was whole retrograde and everything. But it was like Mars was really frustrated by Saturn. Mars wanted to go, and Saturn was like, nope, I don't think so. Whereas now Saturn is in more of a position to confirm or to help whatever Mars is trying to do. So, you know, again, we're thinking with malefics here, and so we might see some things that are a little ugly. As far as Mars is concerned, we might see some more kind of like, offensive dynamics, or you might see some people saying some things that are maybe out of line, or there's like active war conflict going on in the world right now and this kind of thing, right? So the Mars stuff is going to get a little bit of that yes from Saturn, whose job is generally to say no to things, but in a sextile aspect, we're likely going to get a like, okay, but if you do it in this way, it'll work better for you. If you use this organization or structural program in order to accomplish your goal. And then Mars will be like, you know what, that was a good idea, and then go and handle the business that way. And so to see those in aspect with Mercury and Venus also, this makes me think that like there's going to be a sweet story to tell about it. You know what I mean? And this could be, so sweet can happen in a couple of ways. Either, you know, we live in a moment where there's the age of spin is a good way to say it, right? We live in a moment where the way that you tell the story after the fact is almost more important than whatever you did, right? And so there's that to pay attention to here, as well as like, like just how can you, the dealing with narrative and story. You know, it could be there's something that could be a little bit like deceptive around it, or there's it feels very sensible, like it all just kind of makes sense, and the action piece feels like it makes sense here because there's a narrative that is so sensible that of course we are going to take this action and it's going to feel good. And so this is like prime time Mars in Aries. So whatever house you have Aries in, this is a good time to like get going on that, start something up, get it popping, maybe involve a friend. Maybe you can, like if it's Mars in Aries is going to be really good for a workout plan or something like this, right? And so with a sextile to Saturn, maybe you can get some good accountability from your friend or something like that. You've got somebody to check up on you and make sure that you're actually doing your work or something like that. And then once you've told them that I did do my work, then they're like, yay! And we get high fives all around, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of what we're looking at here with all of this sort of stuff. The other thing that's happening this week is the sun is moving from Gemini into Cancer. That's the solstice. We are moving into summertime in the northern hemisphere. So that is the longest day of the year. We're going to start moving towards some shorter days. I don't know about y'all, but like I'm ready for a little more darkness than this. This is a lot of sunshine out here and I'm getting tired. I would like to go to bed. But so to see the sun moving into Cancer, this is helpful for a couple of reasons. One, the sun is not going to be an aspect to Saturn. Sun and Saturn sometimes beef. The sun is like, yes, here I am, I'm the best. And then Saturn wants to be like, did you do your work? And they beef about that, right? Saturn in Aquarius does not make an aspect to the sun in Cancer. So the sun is going to get to sort of dodge Saturn for a little bit. Cancer does make a square aspect to Aries, and Aries is in the overcoming position. So this feels a little overbearing as far as like the Mars is concerned, but to see that same square coming from Jupiter also looks good. It looks nourishing. It looks like, to me, the sun moving into Cancer is less about the sun and more about the sun supporting Mars in Aries. Because Mars is getting all of this juice right now. Mars is getting nice aspects from Venus and Gemini, getting a nice aspect from Saturn and Aquarius, getting like being sort of able to control the sun in Cancer as a result of being in that overcoming square. Like this Mars gets really turned up this week. And so you can do like, there's a lot of energy to be had, especially since we're looking at a lot. Cancer is the only water sign, or the only yin sign that we've mentioned so far. Everything else has been fire and air. And so it's pretty like up and spin, right? Like get out there, go out and do the thing. This is a very good week to be out amongst the people, or you know, be out in even if you're not amongst like human people, if you're out in nature or something like that. These folks right here, these are my relations, right? And these folks have something to say as well. And so to be out in that area, especially in like a sense or in a space where you can be active, where you can be moving around, exercise. I always stress exercise, because one of the things that can happen with super strong Mars like this, and Mars getting all the juice, and Jupiter's there, and Venus is there, and Saturn's there, and Sun's there, and everybody's kind of feeding Mars, is that can turn into too much Mars. And Mars, that's one of the things that Mars does. Mars goes overboard by nature, especially whenever Mars is in domicile like this. Sometimes one of the things that you'll see with planets in domicile, especially malefics in domicile, is they get too strong. They get too good at doing their malefic thing. So in the case of Mars, you can get a little ragey, you might get a little, frustrated. Things might start to break, or this kind of thing. And so if you can give that some kind of outlet, usually I tell people to exercise or sweat. A sauna will also like help get some of that Mars out. If you can break things, if you can like break things intentionally. One time we had a party, and this would probably work really well this week as well. One time we threw a party, and in the party we had a station where like you had finished your bottle, and then you could just throw the bottle and shatter it in the corner. Like that, we had a station for that. And it was a huge hit. Everybody at the party loved it. Everybody loved breaking that glass. And so like the fun of breaking things is kind of what we see with this like Gemini feeding the Aries stuff, and Saturn. And Saturn, like, so in this example, Saturn's like, no, that's cool. Like we'll just do it in this area. There's a rule. Don't just break the bottle wherever you want, but like go do it over there. And if you go do it over there, then everybody can have fun. That's kind of the thing that we're looking at here. So take a look at your own Mars. How does your own sort of active nature like to get down in the world? What do you like to do? Do you like to go outside and run? Do you like to exercise? If not, can you maybe cultivate that in some kind of way? Do you like to yell and scream? Are you an arguer or a debater or something like this? Like this, if that's how you have fun, you can have so much fun doing that this week. Whatever your Mars likes to do, this can be a really good time to go out and do that thing bigly. That's not all that's going on this week. Make sure and tune in to the dailies, but no matter what, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sending me a tip via Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. That is super, super, super helpful. Did I say that it's very helpful for you to send me a tip? Because it fucking is. Every week somebody sends me something, and it's like, it just really makes my whole, I brighten up so much. I wish I could like send you that bright moment when you like send me them, and I go, because I've seen you send me the $3 even, and I'm just, every time I'm just like, oh my God, they care so much. I really appreciate. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for rocking with me. It is my hope that we can get together during this time. Please check out the Patreon if you want to be involved with the community. Thank you for writing a comment. Thank you for looping in your friends. I'm running out of time here. Thank you so much for being here. I look forward to seeing y'all next week. Peace and blessings.